Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We will be opening up the phone lines in probably about 15 to 30 minutes. So if anybody's calling in now, feel free to call right back or hang tight backstage. Oh, wow. Oops, wrong button. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. Quick little Sleuth crew check-in. A lot of big news surrounding the Dylan Rounds case. Some good news for the family. Some things they already knew, that their son was no longer with them. I haven't been following this case very long, so I'll be leaning on the chat quite a bit for this. And then we'll move on to something that we've actually covered a while ago, the Apple River stabbing. We actually covered that case from the beginning. So I've been getting a lot of emails like, dude, why aren't you talking about this? It's all over the news. It's like, well, we already talked about it. But because it is something you guys want to discuss, and I would like to hear what you have to say. Very strange case. So yeah, we'll get to that as well. Good to see everybody. Big Bird, CJK, Livia 2, Jerry. Hiawatha. What's up, D? Connie Hill. Hey, Deb, what's up? Welcome in, Laura. Hathers Mir. Christine. All right, so we'll start with Dylan. And our prayers go out to his family. They're going through a whole lot right now. I mean, they've been going through a whole lot. I'm sure today, and it's weird, in a weird way, is somewhat of a better day. A little bit of closure, I guess. I don't know if there's a such thing as a better day, or maybe it just is. It's just a little bit of closure. That's it. Looks like a cool guy. Very hardworking, right? It'd be hard for an old man to go through all those years just to come to find out that your boss is a 19-year-old boy. In his case, a man, right? For sure. So let's read a little bit of what NBC News put out. On April 9th, 2024, the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office in Utah announced that a body presumed to be missing 19-year-old Dylan Rounds had been found in, is that Lucian, Utah. June 2022, Dylan's case was featured in Dateline's Missing in America series. Dateline spoke with his parents, Justin Rounds and Candace Cooley. They said that Dylan grew up in Idaho, but owned a farm in Lucian that he purchased with his grandfather in 2019. He spent most nights living in his camper on the farm. On Saturday, May 28th, 2022, Dylan spoke with his grandmother on the phone from the farm. That was the last time anyone heard from him. That's his mother there. And I do, right? I believe that is Dylan. Yeah, welcome in, Laura. Good to see you, Carrie. Don't forget, we're having a members meeting in about an hour and a half. It's where we spill all the juicy gossip. Imagine being 19 and owning your own land. Like, what do you do, kid? Oh, I'm a farmer. Oh, that's cute. No, seriously. I own a farm. CJK says it was incredible. They found his phone in the water and got that incriminating video from it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Living the dream. Till the earth. Good to see you, Anna. Thankfully, we tend to have stupid criminals in this area. Brenner videoed himself with victim's phone cleaning the gun in a bloody shirt. Daybell's burying guilt in backyard. There are a couple others. Yeah. Statistically, these types of killers, even serial killers, are just really not that smart. Not that they're super dumb or anything. They're just pretty much like average folks. They're not high IQ or anything. Now, is this his property here? Like I said, you guys are going to have to help me a lot with this. Thank you, CJ. So is this the suspect's truck or is this Dylan's truck? Right? Didn't they find some evidence here, like some water spray, some something to do with the passenger seat that was a little bit made it appear as if a taller gentleman had been sitting in the passenger seat. This is a pretty good shot. I found this one on Google, I'm pretty sure. Looks like a drone. Power washed, pressure spray, like at a car wash. Those spray nozzles are pretty strong. Have some pretty good pressure. Okay, now what are we looking at here? Dylan's boots were found here, and they're pointing to some kind of a mound. Now, where was he found in relation to right here? Laura says the driver's seat was moved fully back. That reminds me of that Pauly Shore movie. I think it's called Son-in-Law. You guys ever seen that? Well, she was set up. Pauly Shore and another person were set up. And when they went to get back in their vehicle, they noticed that the driver's seat was pushed way back, like only a very tall person could have been driving. That's what that reminded me of. Maybe a jealous girlfriend. Farmer boots with blood behind Sandhill, 100 yards. Miles away from this location. Way back by the mountains. Almost he must have drove back there. Okay, so it's much further back here, but still in the still pretty close, huh? Anna says the dirt mound is near where Brenner was staying, near the barn. Behind the mound, it was found a pair of Dylan's boots with blood stains. Okay, so this is Dylan's property then. CJ. That's funny. Yeah, Laura, it's a good movie. It's called Son-in-Law. It's got an all-star cast. Somewhat. Olivia says local news said found in remote area. Here, I got a few videos. Let's take a look. Let's watch them in order here.
Weeks now with no answers, and they're now raising the reward to find their son to 6 figures.
Fox 13 News reporter Emily Tenser spoke with Dylan Round's mother about the frustrating search and why today was so significant.
There's just no trace.
1 month. That's how long it's been since Candace Cooley has last heard her son, Dylan Round's voice.
How do you make it go?
If I knew he was okay, I could handle a month, but not knowing anything. It's just torture.
After weeks of searching for the 19-year-old across the desert, his family is now upping the reward from $20,000 to $100,000.
That was kind of our thoughts on that was, you
It's a
know,
lot of
get
money.
somebody enough they can relocate themselves if they're scared to come forward for their own safety.
The Box Elder County Sheriff's Office is calling this a criminal case, and the FBI is now involved, bringing in specialized equipment and high tech.
Let's go to Cynthia. Good to see you, Cynthia. Says Dylan's phone was found in the pond. Yeah, wasn't there like a video recovered? So they had enough evidence, from what I'm gathering, to basically say, hey, man, we know that you're guilty of murder. You're just refusing it to tell us what you did with the body.
Because that's going to be our best footprint. I mean, we can't find one on the ground, so maybe we can find something, you know, off of this stuff they can truly get off of his phone.
Dylan lived on a farm here in Lucin, Utah, and his credit card was last used at a bar in Montello, Nevada, just a day or two before he was last heard from. His family says his boots were found 5 miles away from his trailer and that his truck appeared to be pressure washed with the driver's seat in a spot that doesn't match Dylan's height.
What the hell? Did this guy ever say why he did it?
There's just no way. I mean, why would somebody want to hurt this kid? Why would somebody want to take this kid? And
Cooley hopes that the feds'
Jealousy,
involvement plus this new reward can bring in the answers they know are out there.
It's one and the same. I mean, I'm grateful they're there, but I'm terrified that, you know, they've been there for 2 weeks and they can't find anything either.
Emily Tenser, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Okay, so let me pull up this guy, James Brenner, because I'm getting conflicting stories here. So this guy right here, I thought he was working on the farm. So he was just a squatter and he couldn't get rid of him. It's a good one, though. It's country as hell, too. In or near, I'm pronouncing it Lucian, but I could be wrong. Laura says something like he was a farmhand. Yeah, that's what I read. And he worked on Dylan Round's grandparents' property and was probably jealous of what he was doing himself at 19. That's the vibe I was getting. You know, that'd be upsetting. Or I can see certain personality types being upset by that. And I also read an article titled Killer Squatter. So you're right, Anna. Good to see you, V. Welcome in, Kiwi. Now he's going to be squatting in prison. Probably a place he was headed anyway. That's the part that bothers me. What's up, Sensei? Laura says, that's right. Dylan fired him. Gotta be an ego bruised to this man. But hey, it was Dylan's hard-earned property and farm. Yeah, that's cool that he was even interested in the farm. To go in on it with his grandfather. He seems like an interesting person. Now, I think this is the location where he was found, right? Not quite sure what's circled here. Yeah, and I'm not sure, Anna. I always feel like there's so many different stories being told. Okay, let's go to video number 2.
This is breaking news from KSL.
Good evening. Breaking tonight. Murder charges have now been filed in the disappearance of a Box Elder County man.
News specialist Andrew Adams is live with the latest in the case of Dylan Rounds. Andrew?
Deanie, the charges filed against James Brenner, long considered a suspect in the disappearance of Dylan Rounds. He's been held behind bars in Weber County since last summer on a felony firearms charge. He's now charged with aggravated murder as well as desecrating a body. Now, if you recall, Rounds was originally reported missing in Box Elder County on May 30th. Searchers at the time found boots belonging to Rounds. Well, investigators in court documents now say a blood stain on one of those boots contained DNA from Rounds and from Brenner. Additionally, detectives used phone records to track Rounds' movements the day of his disappearance to a location in Lucin, where Brenner had been squatting. The phone data also showed the last signal from Rounds' phone came around the Lucin pond. Once investigators were able to find the phone there, documents say investigators analyzed it and recovered a time-lapse video from the day of Rounds' disappearance that showed Brenner.
So vast. It's one of those areas you do not want to get lost in, like the hills have eyes or something.
Brenner with blood stains on his shirt and arms as he cleaned a gun. Rounds' DNA was also found on that shirt, according to investigators. Well, family members said last year that Brenner had lived on a trailer on the family's property in the past and worked occasionally with Dylan. They said Brenner was Rounds' closest neighbor at the time he disappeared. In a statement tonight, Dylan's family thanked everyone who supported them as they focused on finding answers. They asked for, quote, thoughts and prayers for justice for Dylan, that we can bring him home. The documents acknowledge that despite extensive searching, Rounds' body still has not been found due to, quote, Brenner removing and concealing it.
Jeez. It's like, dude, you're caught. You're busted. Just tell us what you did. I wonder, did they say what kind of a deal he made? Must have been to take the death penalty off. But I'm just assuming.
Tonight, authorities believe they found the remains of Dylan Rounds, the 19-year-old who'd been missing for nearly 2 years. And for more than a year, a man has been in custody charged with his murder. In tonight's Justice Files, our Courtney Johns has the breaking details on this case. Courtney.
Brian, we have been talking to Dylan Rounds' mother for years, who tells us she knew she lost her son a long time ago. And when we talked to her back in June, she says she was not going to stop looking until she could bring her boy home.
I mean, we know. Everybody knows.
Knowing her son is gone.
But every time you go to court, it's like, please, Just say I did it.
And convinced she knows the killer.
Yes, he's guilty. Evidence says it.
Is an indescribable pain for Candace Cooley.
Tell us where our son is.
9 months after Dylan Rounds disappeared, authorities charged James Brenner with aggravated murder and desecration of a human body. Authorities saying the 60-year-old had been working on Dylan's farm, and while no body had been recovered.
I mean, it can't be his first time he's hurt somebody. It just can't be. I don't believe it.
Court documents show a time-lapse video of Brenner cleaning a gun with bloodstains on his shirt around the time Dylan disappeared. That shirt later testing positive for Dylan's DNA.
The evidence is the evidence. It's not going to change anything.
Candace says Brenner finally led authorities to where Dylan's body was buried Tuesday morning as a part of a plea agreement, according to East Idaho News. Box Elder County Sheriff's Office later releasing a statement confirming they had recovered remains presumed to belong.
Okay, what kind of deal did he make? So this would be in Utah, right? Do they even have the death penalty there? Welcome in Anything I Like and Lone Pony. Good to see you guys. Who else did I miss? Justice Angel. Welcome in.
To Dylan Rounds.
It's everything. It's everything. Our son is out there somewhere in that desert.
A family plot waiting for him back in
That's
Idaho.
sad.
Candace says Dylan deserves to be with his family.
Oh, that was a good photo. A little puppy. Farmer says both these cases today are absolutely senseless acts of violence by men who are ineffectual baby men who are small in mental wherewithal. I agree. I mean, as much as those young men in the Apple River video are annoying, in no way did they deserve what happened. I mean, they shouldn't even have been physically assaulted, especially by a grown man. Okay, thank you, Anna. So let me pull that image back up before we move on to this Apple River stabbing case. You guys may have seen it. It's been in the news recently. Anna, I think this is the photo that you're referring to. Is that right? Anna says, I think that is the sand pile behind which was found Dylan's boots with bloodstains. Okay, so I have some other photos here. How about this? Okay. This one? Or is this where they found the phone? And this is like some ways behind the trailer. So it looks like they have not announced the location of where they found him. Skeletal remains is what's being reported now. Good to see you, Lone Pony. Hey, Ziggy. Welcome in, Boston. Good to see you. Blind Squirrel, almost missed you there. Thanks for checking in. Okay, yes, that picture. Not where the phone was found. There was a pond being dug with heavy equipment. That's what is shown there. Okay, so these must be work boots. Is that what we're looking at? There's two of them. And they state that they did find his work boots. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. So it doesn't appear that the location has been provided by law enforcement at this time. I'm sure they're still kind of. They'll probably investigate. Maybe they'll finish up today. Two to 3 days, I'm assuming. All right, guys. Viewer discretion is advised. Very graphic content, a lot of screaming, a lot of violence. So we're going to watch the video of the actual event. Then we're going to watch the suspect seen swinging the knife around. Some of his testimony in court here. Very recent. Yeah, that is kind of strange, Anna. Oh yeah, this is a trigger warning for sure. And you can kind of see his knife right here in his pocket. This guy's looking for trouble for sure. I don't buy none of the bullshit. You want to, because these boys are so annoying and they remind you of an era. And only a psychopath would say, well, they got what they deserved because they were just kids. And yeah, they attacked him and this and that. And that's why they're going through the process. That's up for debate. But from what I saw, the dude was lingering. He was at fault. And I mean, he's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked before that. He was just acting very weird. Well, the reason that we were covering this case originally is because we were talking about the Delphi case. And this guy, what he did was he committed this attack and he snuck out of there. Like everybody was so consumed by what had just happened, they didn't believe it was real. Well, while they were reacting and just trying to, basically they're in shock. That's what happened. While they were in shock, he was slipping away slowly through the water and getting out of there. And we always thought maybe that's what happened. But he was also part of a much larger group. So we wondered if maybe that's what the bridge guy did. He was walking with the group, separated from his group, committed a murder, and then joined back with them. No one the wiser. So that's why I was presenting to the crew. And on my channel, I was like, yo, you guys check out this guy. Look, this stuff does happen. So we did a few live streams on this. One of them I had to take down. There was some copyright issues with some of the other things that we were covering. What's up, Rose? Jamie, what up? Once I watched the dude on the stand, I thought guilty. Before that, I was undecided. Well, I don't know. I think once I watched this video, it definitely wasn't necessary. And it also appears that this guy knew what he was doing. He's seemed as if he's cut somebody before. Definitely gives me the creeps. But one more time, for those of you who are just joining, trigger warning. Graphic content, viewer discretion is advised.
What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Get away from us. What? What's going on with y'all homie? He's on camera. Tripping. He's on 4K. Yo, the new iPhone got that good quality. What do you say?
You know what? And we're going to watch this thing all the way through, and then we'll come back and we'll stop and we'll go and play. But one thing I just noticed, they were listening to Tupac.
Yeah, what the hell? Who is this? Yes. For the culture. Who is that? For the culture. Who is that? Who the hell is this? He said he was looking for little girl. He said he was looking for little girl. You're looking for little girl? Yeah. That's exactly what he said. Weirded us out. I even have that part on camera. Some young ass kid. What the hell is this guy's problem, bro? We're trying to have fun. Is he gonna claim you? He's gonna claim you. We don't want this on camera. He ain't a woman. He ain't a woman. You ain't a woman. He ain't a woman. You got him. He's dying. He's dying, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are we serious? Is this real?
These are kids, by the way.
Who is that? Oh my God. Oh no. Oh my God. Is this real? Oh my God. Oh my God. What the fuck? Is this real? Like, that's not bark.
So these guys were in shock. Okay, a lot of you missed it. A lot of you didn't even catch what happened. Now, in court, during the trial, they're slowing everything down, and we're going to hear his testimony. But I think we can do a little bit of that now. It's nothing too gruesome, but you can see him kind of thrusting with the knife. So he has it in his hand here, and his hand is covered in blood. But let's go to where it begins. So one thing I noticed is, yeah, they push him. And I don't know if they hit him. All I really saw was somebody get pushed. So they push him. Tries to get up. They push him again. Now he's going to stand up, and he's just going to simply extend his arm with his knife in his hand. See, he has it in his hand right there. So here comes this, I think he might have been 15, 16 years old. Right there. Comes over to push him, and he lunges the blade right into his belly. I believe he survived, but he was disemboweled. His intestines came out. And it didn't take much. He just stuck his knife out like he knew. Like, here, I'm going to look. He's looking right at where he's going to stab him. All I got to do is hold it out. You'll do everything else. And all he's doing is pushing him. Goes down, and I think he actually hits another kid right here. Right there. You can't see it on camera, but he's stabbing somebody. And that guy did not live. But this guy being in the wrong, did it stop him? Him being in the wrong, are these young boys, is one of these young boys alive now? No. Is one of them not traumatized, if not all of them? So you have to be careful who you are messing with these days. A lot of folks don't care if they're right. They don't care if they're wrong. They've had a shitty year. They're intoxicated. They might even be a little dehydrated. Maybe high. Was the boy's behavior questionable? Yeah. But that's as far as that goes, in my opinion. Was it annoying to see? Yes. But that's what kids do, and that's what kids are. They can be annoying. What this guy did was decide to be a real life character in a horror movie. That was his decision that day. So him being wrong didn't save their lives. And it doesn't help anybody, because the next person that you fuck with that's out of their mind and ready to stab somebody, it's not going to stop them either.
Mr. Mayor, you've been drinking that day, right?
Yeah, I had a
And
like
showing what's been
beers.
marked as Exhibit 12A. You recognize that?
Yes.
That's the group photo of you folks from the beginning of the river.
Yep.
In fact, you're holding a beer.
Correct.
Looks like everybody in your group has some sort of alcoholic beverage.
Looks like it.
Hey, Periwinkle.
You see numerous people in your group with these
Welcome in, Shay.
phone cases around their necks.
Yeah.
And as you're going down the river, you saw lots of people with phone cases around their necks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All day long.
Yeah.
In fact, River's Edge sells or rents out those phone cases, right?
I don't know that.
Did people in your group rent or buy phone?
Let's go to Jamie's comment here. It says he threw the first punch, but it was off camera. Is that what everybody testified to? I don't remember hearing that part.
Cases from the tube rental?
I have no idea.
Oh, and also let's go to Kiwi. he hit a girl. And I didn't see that on camera either, so I don't know if that took place or not. And I don't know if it was testified to in court or not. So I can't verify that. Maybe somebody in the chat can help with that.
Right? You've testified that you were told to bring the knife before you left your home, right?
Correct.
And the reason for bringing your knife on the river was to cut strings or ropes for the tubes, right?
Correct.
And that was the reason you brought it.
Correct.
In fact, you told the police that after your tubes were tied together, you thought you put your knife back in the car, right?
Correct.
But in fact, it was in your pocket.
Yes.
Was it in your pocket the whole day?
No.
All right, well, we're going to get to that. Once the tubes are tied together with the rope, and you said that you thought that you put it back in your car, you don't have a reason to have the knife anymore, right?
He's
It
thinking.
accomplished its purpose, right?
I didn't know that at the time.
All right. Did you tell the cops that
He has an
the
accent.
police,
What
you
is
didn't
that?
think you were going to need it, and that's why you thought you put it in the car?
I may have.
All right.
Hey, what's up, Don? Good to see you.
Were you present when Steve Kaufman, who owns River's Edge, testified first day of the trial?
Yes.
And you heard him say that they sell pre-cut cords for $1, right?
Right.
All right. And then, did you see in the picture, when you got on the river, you were wearing that long sleeve camel shirt?
Let's go to Shay. Says he did hit a woman. Yes, it was testified. Oh, so then yeah, he's fucked. Yeah, he's effed if that's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The hat and sunglasses?
Correct.
All right.
Oh wait, conflicting stories. It never ends. Mustang says no one saw him hit a girl. That's what someone yelled. But I think both those can be true.
Ariel's phone was in one of those cases, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
All right. And is it your understanding that those cases are float cases?
Renee, good to see you, says thankfully I don't know any punks like that. Yeah, me neither. Like those guys were all jerks, but being a jerk does not deserve a death sentence. Is it annoying? You might get punched. Now, if you're getting jumped and they're on top of you and you're drowning and they're beating on you to the point where there's nothing really else that you can do, yeah. Stand your ground. I just don't know if that's what happened here. Now it would be different if he was sitting with his group in his tube and these obnoxious boys came up to him and then approached him, right? And then he stood up like, hey guys, back off. And then they got into a scuffle and then a knife fight broke out. So I think that's the argument, is the fact that he left his group, went over to these boys, engaged in a confrontation that he could have walked away from multiple times, but instead hung around, waited till everything escalated to the point where things became violent, almost as if he was waiting for that moment in time.
That's what I was told.
All right. And you told Lieutenant Hart that it was in a float case, right?
Correct.
Oh, Romania. Okay.
Once the phone disappeared, there was conversation amongst the folks in your group about whether it was even worth it to go look for it.
Sparky, good to see you. I've been down the Apple River tubing. Yeah, it's a very popular place. Here we go tubing too in Phoenix, down the Salt River. It's so much fun. But I've seen violence, It's a lot of young people and a lot of alcohol. So yeah, I've seen things get violent before.
Right?
That's what I learned.
And in fact, you were told that they didn't care about the lost phone because they had insurance to cover it, right?
That's what I learned here.
Let's go to Rose real quick. Yes, he hit Maddie. All the kids testified. Yeah, then that's an ass whooping right there.
But I don't remember that as a conversation.
Nobody asked you to go look for the phone, right?
Correct.
You chose to do that on your own.
I volunteered.
And in fact, members of your group were a little annoyed that you were stopping again so quickly after having been at the hideaway where you'd stopped for lunch.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Did you hear anybody in your group say, why are we stopping again?
I didn't stop the group.
The group
Thanks,
stopped when
Jamie.
you decided to go off on your own to look for this phone, right?
Speculation.
Overruled.
Right?
They already stopped. I got off the tube to look for so I didn't stop them.
In any event, you're the one who insisted on looking for it. Nobody asked you to do that, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
And
He
when
looks
you
very
left
uncomfortable.
to go look for the phone, you had your goggles and your snorkel, right? You knew that the phone was in a float bag. At least that's what you told police afterwards, right?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes,
So the bag, the phone,
Welcome in,
and the
Miranda.
float bag would have been floating, right?
supposedly.
All right. And so you wouldn't need a snorkel and goggles to find a
Let's go to Jamie. This is what I thought, Jamie, after I watched these two videos right here. Jamie says, I think he approached the kids thinking they had the phone. He said on the stand he was investigating it. So he grabbed the boys' tubes and wouldn't let them pass. Yeah, because he knew it was like in a floating case, right? So he figured it wouldn't be hard to find. It would be somewhere on the surface or stuck in these sticks and, things, that the debris on the edge of the water. So, okay. He deduced, well, they stole it. Those sons of guns stole it. And I think that's what he was doing, is he was over there investigating, and he was a little tipsy. And a couple photos, he was drinking. So he was looking for a fight.
phone floating on top of the water, right?
I wasn't sure if it was actually floating or not, and never tested it.
All right. Well, you would agree that a phone has some weight to it.
Yes,
And if it wasn't a float bag, it would sink to the bottom, right?
yes,
Where it was dropped.
correct. Well, or remember, it's a river, so it could have flown down.
The river has current, right?
Right. So it
If I
could
can
have.
approach, I'm going to draw something here.
Yes.
See, Kiwi knows what's up.
You remember when you met with Lieutenant Hart, you drew a diagram of the river.
That's a good question, CJ. Says, did anyone testify on this guy's defense? Not really. Like, even his friends were telling him, like, dude, you're like, let's go. What are you doing? We don't care. I don't care about the phone. I'm at the river. I thought I might lose it. I have insurance on my phone. What are you doing? We're tired of waiting. Shit like that. So he really didn't have anybody on his side.
All right. And this is your group up here at the sandbar, right?
Mhm.
This is the boys group down here. I'll put initials IS for Isaac Schumann.
It seems like they painted a picture of him like going out of his way, and he was somewhat determined to have an altercation with that group.
Right?
Correct.
This is the diagram that you wrote, drew for Lieutenant Hart.
What's up, Miranda?
The phone was lost over here, right?
Mhm.
Instead of looking downstream for it where the current was going, you went this way, across the current,
No,
to look for the phone. You made contact with Isaac Schumann's group on the other side of the river.
but that's not where I started looking for it. Straight across the river.
Mustang, exactly. I think they humiliated him, and that's why the knife came out. And I think that's what this is all about. It's just because you're humiliated, I don't think that gives you a right to kill. I think that's what this all boils down to. Humiliation with I guess, a patina of threat or a layer of threat there. And I think his defense is stand your ground. Like here in Arizona, if you walk up to somebody and you just punch them in the face, they can shoot you. Like, you can't do that. Because one punch could kill you. It happens all the time. So he's trying to say, I was standing my ground. And I don't know what the laws are there.
That's where you ended up making contact with
I
him.
ended up there, but I didn't start there.
All right. The phone would not have floated across the current, right?
Well, I don't know where he lost it. That's where we pulled over. He could have lost it minutes before we even anchored.
So when you testified a minute ago that the phone was lost, where your group was labeled M, now you're changing that story?
Let's go to Mustang. I agree, Sleuth. Doesn't give you the right to kill. Didn't mean that as an excuse. Yeah, just because we don't think it's a good excuse doesn't mean that, somebody out there does. He obviously thought it was a good excuse. But he put himself in that situation. It was like some kind of attempted legal murder or something like that. I don't know what he was doing. He was like luring them into his trap, kind of.
In that vicinity.
Again, members of the jury, what the attorneys say is not evidence. Rely on the witness's testimony. Next question, please.
In any event, it's your testimony that you had reason to go over to the south side of the river where Isaac Schuman's group was to look for a phone. That's your story?
I had reason to search in that area. I didn't know where that phone fell in the water. I don't think even Ariel knew where he lost it. We didn't drop the phone when we anchored. He dropped the phone before we got there.
Fair to say that at that point in the river is 150 feet wide?
Yep.
And Isaac Schuman's group was on the south side of the river?
Correct.
Your group's on the north side of the river?
100 feet.
Rather than searching the north side, you went to the south side of the river. Is that fair to say?
I already looked in that area.
That's not what I'm asking. You went over to the south side of the river, right?
Overruled. You can answer the question.
You did, right?
What was that question again?
You went over to the south side of the river to supposedly look for this phone, right?
I ended up there at that point, yes.
Jamie says he threw his knife on a riverbank and lied to police. He never had a knife. He also lied and said the kids had the knife. He twisted the guy's arm into his belly. Dang, good thing they had that video. Good thing. But guys, that's going to be it for today's quick check-in. If you want to see more on that, I think Fox 9 is where I was pulling that video from. And members, I'll be seeing you in about an hour. And if you guys want to go check out the website, sleuthintuition.com, we do have the merch shop up, but don't expect a whole lot from the website right now as far as registering and engaging in the chat room and all of that kind of stuff. Don't worry about any of that right now. But if you guys just want to go there for my basic information, email address, phone number, how to get a hold of me, how to get some of, we don't have a whole lot. We have like 3 shirts and 3 hats. So bear with us. We're building it up and, just kind of letting you have access to the website so you can watch it grow. Eventually we're going to be live streaming from there. It's going to be fully operational. There's going to be memberships, member only content. So soon you'll watch that grow and evolve into something pretty cool. But that's it, guys. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching the Sleuth Intuition channel. If you are part of the replay crew, you know what to do. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. Sleuth Intuition is 100% crowd-funded. If you want to support me and help my channel grow, here are 3 ways that you can help. Number 1, Cash App. The funds go directly to me without YouTube taking a percentage. Number 2, become a member. Members are by far the leading contributors to my channel. Number 3, hit up the merch shop. Represent the Sleuth crew on these ruthless streets. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. Until next time.